Hello, and welcome to another nerdy news update on the Make Nerd channel. I come to you with two new updates, small updates. This is not going to be a longish video. The first update is about Megha Engineering and Infrastructure Limited. If you don't know what this company is, you will realize that you have probably heard of this company if you have been following the news because it has to do with electoral bonds. Yes. And the second news update, well, it is actually going to be a bit of a reaction segment. Since you enjoyed my last reaction segment, I was like, एक और करते हैं. Devendra Fadnavis has given an interview to Indian Express. We are going to watch some bits of it. There are many interesting things that he has said, so I thought there is something worth commenting on there. So yeah, let's get right into it. Update number 1. Megha Engineering beats L&T to bag rupees 14,400 crore Thane Borivali Twin Tunnel project. Now, this is a news item from May 12th, 2023. Okay, remember the date, May 12th, 2023. What is going on here is that there are two big infrastructure projects, the elevated road and a tunnel project that is being done in Mumbai. Because Mumbai is perpetually under construction, this is one of the reasons. A tender was put out for both of those projects, and L&T, which is the company that is building the Central Vista project and all the things that are happening in Central Delhi, a very reputed company, it lost out on a tender to Megha Engineering. But the strange thing is that L&T ka bid was lower than Megha Engineering, but they still lost out on the contract. There were only two bidders, right? So L&T then went to court. L&T went to court. First, it went to the Bombay High Court, and then they lost out. Basically, they said ki this is unfair. We put in a less tender, and we still lost out on the contract. उस टाइम पे essentially the MMRDA, which is supposed to give this contract, they said कि L&T's bid had some technical difficulties, right? And L&T crowd cried foul, and they were like, "अरे ये क्या है? What is this nonsense? This is a big project. Why are you giving it to someone with a higher bid, etc." Bombay High Court was like, "कुछ नहीं, we don't care. This is fine." Then they went to Supreme Court. Now, the news update is actually about the Supreme Court. I'm just giving you background right now. So, Mumbai elevated road and tunnel projects. Retender or we will stay. Supreme Court tells MMRDA on L&T plea against rejection of bids. Megha Engineering was L1 bidder for the two projects. L&T had faced disqualification on technical grounds. Now, what is happening is that once they went from Bombay High Court to Supreme Court has a different sort of approach to this from the looks of it. What Supreme Court said is that this is unfair, right? They told the MMRDA that this is unfair. There's something weird going on here. So essentially, they have given them two options. One is either you tender the whole thing again and re-award the project on a fair basis, or we are going to put a stay on this. So Supreme Court is stopping this project. Probably. I mean, from the looks of it, right? On top of it, essentially they said that L&T, as I said, I mentioned this as well. The Supreme Court said that L&T is a reputed company, and they got the Central Vista project, and they seem to be experienced in all this whole tendering and all this process. So how have they been rejected on technical grounds? Essentially, what was said in court is this. L&T contended that the arbitrary and non-transparent manner of carrying out tender process has resulted in declaration of L1 bid for both projects to Megha Engineering and Infrastructure Limited at a substantially higher project cost. The company claimed that compared to L1 bidder, which is Megha, its price bid was approximately 2,521 crore less in the road tunnel project and 609 crore less in the elevated road project. So the court said that, because they had less, they tendered for a less cost, it is actually beneficial for taxpayers. So why didn't the government give them the contract? MMRDA said there were technical difficulties in their bids. That is when the Supreme Court said, but they have other contracts which they have done, like big contracts. So there needs to be a better reason. And plus, the cost is actually quite justified. The government, I mean, the MMRDA lawyers argued that cost doesn't matter because cost is revealed later. Again, that is like a very random technical detail that I'm telling you, which you don't really need to. But what is going on here? That is what talking about. Okay. The reason why I asked if you remember this name is because Megha Engineering is this company from Andhra Pradesh. So, it is a company that was started in 1989 and it was started by PP Reddy and is now currently led by his nephew PV Krishna Reddy. Megha Engineering currently, which is it started as a small fabrication thing and now it is like this giant infrastructure company. It is said to be the third most valuable unlisted company in the country right now. It has a valuation of 67,500 crore, right? And they have been getting projects left, right, center, especially during the BJP's term. Okay. And their name came up during the electoral bonds case. MEIL's top electoral bond donations were to the BJP, 584 crore during the period of 2019 to 2023. They also gave to BRS, they gave to DMK, YSR, TDP, and also Congress, 18 crore. But BJP, massive amounts. Who is behind MEIL, second biggest electoral bonds donor? MEIL or Megha Engineering purchased bonds worth 966 crore between 2019 and 2023. Besides donations from MEIL, three companies associated with MEIL also gave significant donations. So combined, their total bonds that they bought were 1200 crore. 1200 crore they gave during the whole electoral bonds period, which the Supreme Court later scrapped. Their Indian Express did this thing where all the tranches of electoral bonds that were bought over the years, they tried to compare it with what sort of contracts that Megha Engineering got during that time. And guess what? Guess what? One of the projects that they got during that time was this MMRDA twin tunnel project. Donor number 2, Megha, bought electoral bonds and even as it got key government PSU contracts. Just a month before it bagged the rupees 14,400 crore Thane Borivali twin tunnel project in May 2023 from Mumbai Metropolitan Regional Development Authority, MMRDA. MEIL bought electoral bonds worth 140 crore. Of this, 115 crore were redeemed by the BJP. L&T, which lost out on the project, had moved to Bombay High Court, as I told you, against the award to MEIL. L&T chairman, L&T claimed that its technical bid for one package of the project was wrongfully rejected by the MMRDA, while in the second package, its bid was rejected despite being a successful bid. The court later quashed the L&T pleas. Then, in October 2023, company bought 160 crore worth of electoral bonds, of which 150 crore worth were redeemed by the BJP. This tranche came after MEIL announced late September that it had backed a $648 million Mongolia refinery project, which is being executed with Indian government assistance. So, electoral bonds has come back to haunt us, and essentially this is affecting the MMRDA project of the twin tunnel project that is going on in Mumbai. Guys, I had said this when I was covering the electoral bond story, that this is not over. So what the court had done was that they had made the database public. They said that, okay, so this is the database for the people who took the donations and this is the database for people who gave the donation. Now, SBI came out during that time saying, oh, it will take time to match the donations, etc. But few amazing engineers, even on this channel, ITAS, managed to do it in 40 minutes, the matching. And after the matching, we found out that Future Gaming was one of the biggest donors, which gave a lot of money to DMK also. And the second largest donor was Megha Engineering. Most of the money went to BJP. And during that time, everybody was saying, okay, you have showed us that the money has gone to them. And now Indian Express and people are showing that these contracts are also going to them. And there is something shady going on here, clearly. But the Supreme Court said, क्या ही कर सकते हैं, कुछ direction नहीं आया उसके बाद. Now you see the effects. This is one of the stories which is related to that incident. We don't know how many other projects come up like this, which will be exposed by the courts or different journalists, where you would find a link to the electoral bonds with it. It's kind of crazy, and this is like a definite, like, sort of example of quid pro quo, which we are seeing real time right now. I thought this is something that you should care about because I don't think many people are covering this. So yeah, I'm covering this. Alright, update number 2, which is sort of a reaction video to Devendra Fadnavis. But before that, let me tell you, these are friends. These friends are members on this channel. If you are watching this on my channel right now, you're probably watching a free version of it. Let's call it that way. A general version of it, a recorded version of it. The actual update will be like 30-35 minutes long. But the stream that I do with my membra go on for a while. So we discuss these news items, we do some analysis, we talk about it, and there are a few new members who have joined in who are also having fun today. So if you want, you can also join the membership of this channel and you get 2 live streams, exclusive recording videos, where you get to talk to me, where you get to interact with me. Alright, on to update number 2. Chief Minister of Maharashtra Devendra Fadnavis is in the house. Well, not in the house. He was with the Indian Express. He gave a very long interview and there were some interesting bits that he said which I thought were worth reacting to and showing you. The first one is this one.
Sort of, you know, I feel like your loyalty to your alliance, won the battle in your mind between I know your love for free speech. I mean, I understand that was in this whole comedian situation where there was an attack on is that also something you feel like, you had to sort of be more, you had to show your friendship to your alliance partner more than you wanted to?
देखिए, अगर आप मुझे पूछेंगे तो पॉलिटिकली ऐसे लोगों को इग्नोर करना ज्यादा ठीक होता है.
Correct.
इनकी औकात नहीं है, आप इनकी औकात बढ़ा देते हो.
Exactly.
In case you didn't get that, he's talking about Kunal Kamra and he is saying कि उसकी औकात नहीं है, उसको इग्नोर करना चाहिए. Yes.
इतनी औकात बढ़ाने की जरूरत है.
औकात बढ़ाने की जरूरत
Politically,
है.
it is better to ignore. बट कई बार क्या होता है कि विशेष रूप से हमारी पार्टी भी या हमारे एलाइज भी, नॉट ऑल एलाइज, शिवसेना और हम लोग थोड़े भावनिक लोग हैं. हम लोग प्रैक्टिकल पॉलिटिशियंस नहीं है. हमारे में इमोशन थोड़ी ज्यादा है, तो वो इमोशन कभी कभी थोड़ा हमको रिएक्ट करवाती है. तो इसलिए मेरा अपना मत आप पूछेंगे तो मैं तो ये कहता हूँ कि थोड़ा रिएक्शन के कारण उनको ज्यादा तवज्जो मिली. 4 आदमी सुनते नहीं उनको.
4 आदमी सुनते नहीं उनको, guys. 4 आदमी सुनते नहीं उनको. Kunal Kamra responded to this saying, "Hello Devendra Fadnavis, you are right. Politically, it's better to ignore me. I have no auqad. Only 4 people watch my show. Please, can I be ignored? October, I was planning shows in Thane, New Mumbai, Pune, Nashik, Nagpur, Aurangabad. Please coordinate with Mr. Shinde and his Sena if I can be ignored." But what is fascinating about this is when he said that हम थोड़े भावुक लोग हैं. Practical politicians नहीं है. That's a lie, right? Because the bhavukness that they show is performative. It's all performative. In reality, they are extremely ruthless. Through the way that, for example, one of the things which you will see in this interview only, he has included many corrupt people, including Chhagan Bhujbal, which he said was corrupt, Ajit Pawar, which he said was corrupt, into his cabinet. That is a very practical move. So he's very practical when it comes to that. But when it comes to a comedian saying things on stage in an underground basement and putting it on YouTube, bhavuk ho jate hai ekdam. It's all performative. And as I had said, I feel like one of the reasons why Kunal Kamra got into trouble for that one particular set, everybody thought that he got into trouble because of the Shinde song that he sung. I still believe he got into trouble because he made fun of a certain Ambani child for his weight. I still believe that. उसके लिए भावुक हो जाते हैं वो. Yeah. We know what makes them emotional, and it is money and their corporate bosses. Like Mega Engineering, I'm hoping. I don't know. Moving on.
आप बहुत बेबाक पोजीशंस ले चुके हैं करप्शन के अगेंस्ट. आपने बहुत इसको अपना एक पॉलिटिक्स का एक इशू बनाया है. पर कई ऐसे लोग हैं जिनके बारे में आप पर्सनली करप्शन के बारे में जो आपने बोला है वो आज आपकी कैबिनेट में हैं, जैसे अजीत पवार हैं,
As I said.
भुजबल हैं, और भी ऐसे 3-4 नाम हैं। तो ये कैसे हुआ और इसको आप कैसे निभाते हैं आज?
ये रियलिटी ऑफ
कैसे
पॉलिटिक्स है।
निभाते?
पॉलिटिक्स में इन चीज़ों से मुंह मोड़कर आप आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते। मुझे ये बताइए कि अगर 2019 में पूरी मेजॉरिटी मिलने के बाद और अनाउंस होने के बाद कि मेरे नेतृत्व में चुनाव लड़ा जा रहा है, मैं मुख्यमंत्री बनूंगा, ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब ने अनाउंस करने के बाद उद्धव जी ने हमको धोखा दिया, शिवसेना ने हमको धोखा दिया, तो उसके बाद पॉलिटिक्स में आप हाथ पर हाथ धरे बैठे नहीं रह सकते।
Just in case you missed that, again, just recapping, he said that ये politics में ये सब करना पड़ता है, friends. We have to do all this in politics, and then he's giving the example of 2019, where they won a majority, and then Shiv Sena backed out from the government because they said we had never agreed that Devendra Fadnavis would become the chief minister. BJP said, oh, but we had, and then there was like a fallout there. And then Shiv Sena went on to form the government with NCP and Congress, because why not, of course. He said we couldn't just sit around, okay? We couldn't just sit around. And this is an answer, by the way, to why you have corrupt people in your cabinet. How does that make sense?
ये ऐसी जगह है जहाँ रास्ता खोजना पड़ता है और जिंदा रहना पड़ता है।
जिंदा रहना
आप मर
पड़ता
गए तो आपको कोई पूछने वाला नहीं है, इसलिए हमने रास्ता
एक्सपीरियंस मैं लास्ट इलेक्शन में मर गया था 192 वोट्स कोई नहीं पूछता गाइस मुझे harsh truths being given by Devendra Fadnavis. If you lose, nobody asks where you are, nobody. अरविंद केजरीवाल किधर है? हाँ, he lost. कोई पूछता है उनको? कोई पूछता है? So if you are a practical politician, you have to survive, friends, and to survive you can go to any lengths. That is the lesson that Chief Minister is giving us. Complete agreement.
रास्ता खोजा। अब जो सही रास्ता था उस रास्ते से हमारे साथी भटके, तो फिर जिनको साथ में लेकर आगे बढ़ सकते थे उनको लेकर आगे बढ़े। तो इसलिए मैंने हमेशा अपनी राजनीति में ये बात को या ये इस प्रिंसिपल को मैंने हमेशा देखा है कि देखिए, अपने व्यक्तिगत जीवन में आप जो साधन शुचिता है उसका पूरा पालन करें, अपने प्रिंसिपल्स का पालन करें, लेकिन जब आप राजनीति में काम करते हो तो कई बार जिंदा रहने के लिए कॉम्प्रोमाइजेस करने पड़ते हैं। उस समय आपको ये मालूम होना चाहिए कि कॉम्प्रोमाइज सिर्फ मैंने जिंदा रहने के लिए किया है।
Okay. So basically, in your personal life, you are super principled, you are super all the things. But when you go into politics, क्या principles? कौन है यहाँ पे? Only survivability and power matters. What is really interesting about this sort of honest answer? He's being very honest, but if you read into this is what I say is cynicism in politics, right? I genuinely believe we don't have leaders anymore. We don't, unfortunately. What we have is people who pander to the public. For example, all the politicians that you see right now would be completely appeasing the public constantly all the time. All the time. Like they will give them whatever you call it, freebies or some projects or religion or emotional drama or whatever you have it. They will appease the public. They're extremely scared of offending the public, right? Which means that they can't lead. Because leaders are supposed to do difficult things. They are supposed to take principled stands. They're supposed to go on that leadership stage and then basically say, ki, even if you guys as a collective believe something which is wrong, I am going to be the one to tell you that what you are thinking is wrong and do the right thing. That is where principles come in. That is what our Indian freedom fighters were like. That is what Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was like. He saw that most people believe in casteism. Most people believe that upper class should rule and all the things. But he was like, nahi, I know this is wrong. I know it is against natural justice. I know it is unfair. And my people see it. So I am going to lead in this sort of way. I'm going to be principled about it. And I am going to call out what is wrong. What Devendra Fadnavis is saying, ki, अब व्यक्तिगत चीजों में you can be principled, but when it comes to politics, it doesn't matter. That's why I'm saying these are not leaders. We don't have leaders anymore, unfortunately. We don't. There are very few people who you can count on your fingers who would actually go against something that society considered is right, but you know is wrong.
कैन नॉट बी माई वे ऑफ लाइफ। इसीलिए अगर मैं मुख्यमंत्री हूं तो मेरे मंत्रिमंडल में कोई भी गलत काम करता है तो मैं करने नहीं दूंगा, मैं उसको रोकने का काम करूंगा जितनी मेरी कैपेसिटी है।
But पहले किया था वो?
आज फॉर्चुनेटली मैं कहता हूं कि आप कोई भी मेरे मंत्रिमंडल का व्यक्ति देख लीजिए, वो कम से कम मेरी इतनी इज्जत तो करते हैं कि मुझे ओवररूल करके कोई जा नहीं सकता। इसलिए मैं ये
What a roundabout nonsense answer. Wait, let me show you something. This is what Devendra Fadnavis had said way back in where 2017, I think.
काल राज ठाकरे विचारत होते ना, जेलमध्ये टाकलं पुढे काय, आगे आगे देखिए होता है क्या, आता तर बेलवर आहेत, आता
Just to give you context, he's talking about Chhagan Bhujbal back when he was not in his cabinet.
केस चालणार आहे। खरं म्हणजे नाशिककरांनी हुशारी केली, मागच्याच वेळेस गोडसेंना निवडून दिलं, मागच्या वेळेस यांच्या विरोधी उमेदवाराला निवडून दिलं असतं तर 2-3 वर्ष निवेदनं घेऊन जेलमध्येच जावं लागलं असतं।
Basically, he's making fun of Chhagan Bhujbal because he's out on bail and he's not in jail. So in Marathi, he's essentially making fun of him. And now he's going to do some quality mimicry of his current cabinet colleague.
बंधू भगिनींनो, मला कधी कधी भुजबळ साहेबांचं आश्चर्य वाटतं, काय जोरदार भाषण करतो, हाऊ 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 जोरदार, म्हणजे असा नट सम्राट या महाराष्ट्राने पाहिला नाही। आणि काय सांगतात, मला जेलमध्ये टाका, मी जेलमध्ये जायला तयार आहे, मला यांनी जेलमध्ये टाकलं। अरे भुजबळ साहेब, तुम्ही स्वातंत्र्य संग्राम सैनिक म्हणून नाही जेलमध्ये टाकलं, भारताच्या स्वातंत्र्याकरता लढले म्हणून जेलमध्ये नाही टाकलं, कुठे नाशिक करता आंदोलन केलं म्हणून जेलमध्ये नाही टाकलं, तुम्हाला जेलमध्ये टाकलं तुम्ही भ्रष्टाचार केला म्हणून।
In short, he's saying that that Chhagan Bhujbal is a great actor, and he keeps like saying, "Arey ha, put me in jail," and then Devendra Fadnavis is like, "We didn't put you in jail because you're a freedom fighter. We put you in jail because you are a corrupt person for corruption." And now this man has joined the cabinet. I must show you. It happened on May 20th, friends. Again, all these things that happened around this month are like very interesting. I think people haven't been paying much attention to it because the conflict happened, all the things. NCP leader Chhagan Bhujbal makes a comeback, sworn in as a minister. 77-year-old, a prominent figure from Mali OBC community, had earlier voiced disappointment at being denied a cabinet berth following the 2024 assembly elections, despite Mahayuti alliance coming to power. So Chhagan Bhujbal, who has multiple cases of corruption or accusations against him, clearly got a clean chit and now is a minister in the Maharashtra cabinet. This is the very person which our friend Devendra Fadnavis had called corrupt and was making fun of because he went to jail. Yeah, there were ED raids against him, CBI raids against him, all sorts of things. But yeah, this is practical politics, okay? Don't talk to me about my principles. Principles gaye tel lene. Practical politics is what this is.
One thing Mumbai should learn from Delhi, one thing Delhi should learn from Mumbai.
There are 10 things Delhi should learn from Mumbai. And I don't see a single thing which Mumbai can learn from Delhi. Anyways, it's my love about Mumbai. But मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि
Typical Bombay arrogance, I tell you. There is nothing you can learn from Delhi, huh?
मुंबई का जो अनुशासन है वो दिल्ली सीख सकती है। आज भी मुंबई में शाम के समय इस किसी भी एरिया में आप देखिए, लोग लाइन में लगकर टैक्सी पकड़ते हैं, लाइन में लगकर बस पकड़ते हैं। मुंबई का ट्रैफिक आज भी आप देखिए बहुत कम लेन जंपिंग होता है। दिल्ली में बिना टुकी गाड़ी दिखा दीजिए।
That's very true.
Very true.
Okay, I do agree with him here. One of the things that you have to give to Bombay is that people are a lot more disciplined and also better safety than Delhi. That is something that Delhi can definitely learn from Bombay. Delhi people are impatient on the roads especially, and lack discipline. All the Thar crowd lives here, guys, around me, around Delhi, so I completely understand what he's saying. But what is it that Bombay can learn from Delhi? Food? Delhi has better food. Yeah. Oh, how to not charge insane rates. Okay, I can't even say that anymore. यहाँ पे भी rent बहुत ज़्यादा है. What is it? Chat, you tell me. तुम बताओ, comment में छोड़ो. What is it that Bombay can learn from Delhi? Government schools. Yes, Sharda has a good point. Government schools. Schools are much better here, for sure. Delhi has better winters, but unfortunately Bombay can't learn that. Oh, Cyrus. There is nothing to learn. मस्का लगाना दिल्ली वालों से सीखो. True. Biryani, correct. I agree. Delhi has better roads than Mumbai. Okay, fair. Infrastructure is better than Mumbai for sure. Better roads for sure. How to implement a reasonable number of public buses? Yes, also agree. We have better transport systems. Last mile connectivity is at least better. Bhutta. Nagpur has Bhutta also. Very good Bhutta. Delhi has Dilwale. Anyway, moving on to the next one.
Okay, you have to drive to Delhi, and you have to pick one person in the passenger seat. You've got two options: Savarkar or Gandhi. Who do you pick?
गाड़ी कौन सी है?
आपकी preferred SUV.
ये फास्ट गाड़ी होगी ना तो सावरकर जी को ले जाऊंगा. अगर अपनी नॉर्मल स्लो गाड़ी होगी तो गांधी जी को ले जाऊंगा.
What sort of answer is that? That's such a confusing answer. So, okay, there can be two interpretations to this. Chat, there can be two interpretations to this answer. One is that the fast car is better. So he takes Savarkar in the better car, but Gandhi will go in the older, more terrible car. That is one. Or the second interpretation is, which is सावरकर बहुत बोर करेंगे. सो जल्दी जल्दी पहुंच जाएंगे दिल्ली. बट गांधी, अ मैन फुल ऑफ विजडम, यू वुड वांट टू लिसन टू हिम, तो धीरे धीरे जाएंगे दिल्ली. विच डू यू थिंक इज द करेक्ट इंटरप्रिटेशन? आई डोंट नो, यू टेल मी.
आपको लगता नहीं है कि इसका मिसयूज भी बहुत हो सकता है? जैसे एक और अब बात आपने बोली थी, ये दिस वाज आई थिंक लोकसभा चुनाव के बाद आपने बोला था कि इट वॉज अ कॉन्टेस्ट बिटवीन फोर्सेज ऑफ एनार्की एंड फोर्सेज ऑफ नेशनलिज्म. आपने बोला था ये पार्टियों के बीच की लड़ाई नहीं थी, ये फोर्सेज ऑफ एनार्की एंड फोर्सेज ऑफ नेशनलिज्म. नाउ अगर आप पूरी ऑपोजिशन को फोर्सेज ऑफ एनार्की का लेबल दे देते हैं, तो डज दैट नॉट डिसरिस्पेक्ट द ऑपोजिशन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल? एंड ऑल्सो आप अपनी तरफ से आप ये बोल रहे हैं कि बीजेपी खाली नहीं, हम फोर्सेज ऑफ नेशनलिज्म उतारना चाह रहे हैं उनको फाइट करने के लिए, तो आप अपने आप को भी कम कर रहे हैं.
पहली बात तो यह है कि हमारा अपोजिशन हमसे लड़े, हम उसका स्वागत करेंगे, लेकिन वो है कहाँ? वो नहीं लड़ रहा है. आप देखिए, अगर आप लोकसभा में देखिए.
Also, why are people clapping at this? It's not true, guys. Did you forget what happened in 2024? 240 हो गए सर. आपकी गवर्नमेंट 240 हो गए. But if you are talking about Maharashtra, sure, महाराष्ट्र में मेजोरिटी मिला इनको.
देखेंगे तो हमारे खिलाफ कौन लड़ा? भारत जोड़ो नाम का एक संगठन राहुल गांधी ने तैयार किया था.
So he is talking about national politics.
180 संगठनाएं थी, 180. और उसमें से मैंने ऑन द फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस मैंने ऐसी संगठनाएं गिनाई है जिन संगठनाओं को जब मनमोहन सिंह जी की सरकार थी, उस सरकार ने लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिस्ट, या जिसको आजकल की भाषा में हम लोग अर्बन माओइस्ट कहते हैं, उनको अर्बन माओइस्ट के रूप में मनमोहन सिंह जी की सरकार ने घोषित किया लोकसभा में.
Which ones?
लिस्ट जारी की. उस लिस्ट की संगठनाएं भारत जोड़ो के रूप में अगर हमारे खिलाफ लड़ाई करती है, कांग्रेस में कभी नहीं था.
Which ones? Which ones, Devendra Fadnavis? What is this? Let's see. Left wing organizations, Bharat Jodo Yatra, Maharashtra Assembly. Okay. In an interview to TOI, this is in November 6, 2024. Rahul Gandhi is surrounded by urban Naxals and anarchist forces and has transformed into an ultra-left ideologue. Controversy surrounds Rahul Gandhi's Nagpur events. Okay. Rahul Gandhi is less of a congressman now. From a communist, he's turned into an ultra-left ideologue. He flaunts a copy of the constitution with a red cover, not a traditional blue. He's surrounded by anarchists and urban Naxals who define his policies and sets. 180 organizations participating in Bharat Jodo Yatra were subversive elements. Which ones? Arey, which ones? What? नाम तो बताओ. Hey? Okay, let's see what Congress is saying. 13 Naxal. Okay, this is the assembly one. 13 Naxal organizations associated with Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra. Chief Minister claims he claimed that a meeting was held in Nepal's capital city Kathmandu in November, where issues like opposing EVMs were discussed. Among other issues discussed were the introduction of ballot papers. Okay, not only this, 180 organizations, 40 are being named as frontal organizations. He also claimed 40 organizations organized programs and published pamphlets for Bharat Jodo Yatra. 72 frontal, 7 organizations are from Bharat Jodo, 13 are whose names were taken by anti-Naxal operation. Okay. Which ones? Money deposited, what? Moreover, referred to a case being probed in Malegaon. In Malegaon, some youngsters complained to cops about 114 crore in Benami money being deposited into accounts. This is just some other direction. Congress has responded to serious allegations leveled by Chief Minister. One of the Congress MLAs called this a desperate bid to discredit Bharat Jodo Yatra. Fadnavis should produce evidence to substantiate his allegations. He has not taken any names clearly. Which ones? अरे
वो कोई लड़ नहीं सकते थे हमसे. ये 180 संगठनाएं जो एक साथ आई, इन्होंने
Random. Okay.
इसलिए मैंने तो अनार्किस्ट फोर्सेस बोलता हूँ, अर्बन माओइस्ट है.
that's
इन्होंने
fine.
जिस प्रकार की एक भावना यहाँ तैयार की, ठीक है, 2 चीजें. अब मैं मेरे दूसरे बात पर आता हूँ जिसके ऊपर शायद आप आगे पूछ सकती है कि लव जिहाद के साथ साथ एक वोट जिहाद हमने देखा.
Oh
ये
my
वोट जिहाद,
God.
अगर आप देखेंगे महाराष्ट्र में किस प्रकार का मतदान हुआ तो आपके ध्यान में आएगा. अगर आप वोटिंग का पैटर्न महाराष्ट्र का सामने लाकर दिखाए
हाँ.
तो देखिए कि जहां माइनॉरिटीज है वहां पर जिस प्रकार का बिल्कुल पोलराइज वोटिंग हुआ है वो वोट
I'm
जिहाद.
sorry. What isn't that like an obvious thing? Even if okay, you think that's like some magical thing happening, Devendra Fadnavis sir? Because honestly, if I had to look at it just seriously and very simply, it is because your party does not like the minorities you are talking about. They have been openly telling Hindus कि हिंदू खतरे में है from who? From these minorities. That's why minorities are not voting for you. You are the one creating the polarization constantly. You are the one who is going out, your prime influencer is going out, you are going out and saying love jihad and whatever, vote jihad, and your Suresh Chauhan K is going and saying UPSC jihad also. Your entire ecosystem is polarizing the public. Godi media is on your side polarizing the public, and you are saying that it is all the Congress's fault. भारत जोड़ो यात्रा का fault. क्या अर्बन नक्सल का fault है? Wow. Amazing. Amazing. There is no science required to understand this, honestly. This is just such a sad attempt at just denying responsibility, honestly. Just denying what you are doing in public constantly, which is polarizing, and then blaming someone else for the said polarization. Ridiculous.
ने किया, एनार्किस्ट फोर्सेस ने किया. इसलिए मैंने ये कहा था कि पार्टियों से लड़ने की तो हमको आदत है, कांग्रेस आ जाए, एनसीपी आ जाए और कोई आ जाए,
अच्छा.
हमको इसकी आदत है. लेकिन फोर्सेस से लड़ने की हमारी आदत नहीं है, क्योंकि डेमोक्रेसी में हम पार्टियों से लड़ने के लिए तैयार हुए. फोर्सेस से लड़ना है तो फोर्सेस को लड़ना पड़ेगा. इसलिए मैंने नेशनलिस्ट फोर्स.
Okay, this is a great trick, huh? This is actually a great trick. Basically, you have the Congress, you have other parties, which are obviously political parties, who are fighting against you in elections, etc. But you ignore that completely and you say, oh, but तेरे पीछे कौन है? तुम्हारे पीछे कौन है? Which are the forces behind you? Which are the magical forces, urban Naxal forces behind you? I can say the same thing. BJP, is Megha Engineering a force behind you? Is that a shady force behind you that gave you so much electoral bonds and they are the ones calling the shot in this government? Are crony capitalists the forces behind you? So is this a fight between citizens versus crony capitalists, because all parties that represent me are representing the citizen force. Okay, you guys clearly are the crony capitalist force. I have no idea. I have no experience fighting forces. Okay, I can fight the BJP all day, every day. I can't fight crony capitalists. That logic can apply anywhere. क्या मस्त spin मारते हैं ना ये लोग. Amazing, mind blowing, love it. But yeah, you can go watch the full interview if you want. There are many things he has said. I'm just going to end it here. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this another update on the Meghnad channel. I know a lot of you have been asking me to comment on the YouTuber and ANI drama. I'm currently in the process of writing that video. So hopefully, beginning of next week, you will see a very fun video coming on this channel. A bunch of thoughts, scripted video. So look out for that, and till then, become a member, subscribe, do all the things to support this channel. I hope you enjoyed this news update. Okay, bye. See you in the next one.